From Earth, Jupiter appears calm and majestic, a giant striped globe drifting serenely through space. Its bands of clouds stretch smoothly around the planet, and its great red spot glows like a watchful eye. But this sense of tranquility is an illusion born of distance. Jupiter is not a world that can be approached casually, and it is certainly not a world that can be landed on. It is a place where every familiar rule of planetary exploration breaks down, replaced by extremes so profound that even our strongest technologies quickly reach their limits. The idea of landing assumes something solid, a surface that can bear weight, a boundary where descent ends and rest begins. Jupiter offers no such boundary. What looks like a surface is merely the uppermost layer of clouds, composed mostly of ammonia ice, floating in an atmosphere thousands of kilometers deep. Below these clouds, there is no ground waiting, only an endless descent into thicker, denser, and more hostile layers of gas. As a spacecraft approaches Jupiter, the first challenge is gravity. Jupiter's immense mass pulls strongly on anything that comes near. At the level of the cloud tops, gravity is already more than 2.5 times stronger than Earth's. A descending craft would accelerate rapidly, falling faster and faster as it plunged into the planet. There is no natural point of equilibrium where gravity weakens or stabilizes. The deeper you go, the stronger Jupiter's grip becomes. Almost immediately, the atmosphere asserts its violence. Jupiter's winds are among the most extreme in the solar system. Jet streams roar around the planet at hundreds of kilometers per hour, driven by heat rising from deep within Jupiter's interior. Storms dwarf anything seen on Earth, fueled not by sunlight alone, but by internal energy left over from the planet's formation. These storms are layered, complex, and chaotic, capable of shredding a descending spacecraft long before pressure becomes the dominant threat. Pressure, however, is inevitable. On Earth, pressure increases gradually as you descend into the ocean or dig into the ground. On Jupiter, pressure rises at an astonishing rate. With every kilometer downward, the weight of the atmosphere above multiplies. Within minutes of descent, pressures exceed what even the deepest parts of Earth's oceans can produce. Structures designed for space collapse inward. Materials deform. Electronics fail. The Galileo probe provided a brief glimpse into this environment. Designed to withstand extraordinary conditions, it entered Jupiter's atmosphere in 1995 and transmitted data for just under an hour. In that short time, it recorded crushing pressures, fierce winds, and temperatures climbing relentlessly. Eventually, the probe was destroyed, not by impact, but by the sheer force of Jupiter itself. And it did not even scratch the deeper layers. As pressure increases, temperature follows. The atmosphere grows hotter with depth, not cooler. Jupiter radiates more heat than it receives from the Sun, a consequence of slow gravitational contraction and residual heat from its formation. As hydrogen gas is compressed under immense pressure, it heats dramatically. Any descending object would be baked from the outside and crushed from all directions simultaneously. Deeper still, hydrogen begins to behave in unfamiliar ways. At pressures millions of times greater than Earth's atmosphere, hydrogen transitions into a liquid state and then into something stranger, metallic hydrogen. In this exotic form, hydrogen conducts electricity like a metal. This vast, churning ocean of metallic hydrogen is thought to generate Jupiter's immense magnetic field, the strongest of any planet in the solar system. At this depth, the concept of landing becomes meaningless. There is no solid surface, no stable platform. A spacecraft would be suspended in a dense, electrically conductive fluid subject to extreme currents, magnetic forces, and crushing pressure. Even if materials strong enough to survive such conditions could be imagined, controlling motion or maintaining position would be nearly impossible. Radiation adds yet another layer of danger. Jupiter's magnetic field traps charged particles from the solar wind and from volcanic eruptions on its moon Io, creating radiation belts far more intense than Earth's Van Allen belts. These regions are lethal to unshielded electronics and instantly fatal to human life. Spacecraft that venture near Jupiter must be heavily shielded, and even then, their lifespans are limited. A landing mission would require passing through these radiation belts repeatedly, exposing systems to cumulative damage. Memory errors increase. Sensors degrade. Circuits fail. Jupiter's radiation environment is not a temporary hazard. It is a constant, unforgiving presence. Some have wondered whether Jupiter might hide a solid core deep within, a final destination where landing could, in theory, be possible. Models suggest that Jupiter does possess a dense core, perhaps made of rock and ice, or perhaps more diffuse than a traditional solid object. But this core lies tens of thousands of kilometers beneath the cloud tops, under pressures and temperatures so extreme that no known material could survive the journey. Reaching such a core would require passing through layers where hydrogen becomes metallic, where temperatures rival the surface of the sun, and where gravity crushes matter into unfamiliar states. Long before any landing could occur, the spacecraft would be reduced to its constituent atoms. The impossibility of landing on Jupiter is not a failure of engineering. It is a reflection of Jupiter's nature. Jupiter is not a planet in the way Earth is a planet. It is closer to a failed star, a massive ball of gas that never quite ignited nuclear fusion. Its structure is continuous rather than layered, fluid rather than solid. It is a world defined by gradients, not boundaries. This forces scientists to rethink exploration itself. Instead of landers and rovers, Jupiter demands flybys, orbiters, and brief atmospheric probes. Missions like Juno are designed to skim the planet's upper atmosphere, diving close to the cloud tops to collect data before retreating to safer distances. Each pass is a calculated risk, balancing proximity against survival. Through these missions, Jupiter reveals itself not as a place to visit, but as a system to study. Its gravity shapes the solar system, shepherding asteroids and influencing the orbits of countless bodies. Its magnetic field sculpts a vast space environment. Its moons, some of which may be habitable, are profoundly affected by its presence. In this sense, Jupiter redirects our curiosity. If we cannot land on the planet itself, we can explore the worlds it governs. Moons like Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto offer solid surfaces, subsurface oceans, and environments shaped by Jupiter's immense power. Jupiter becomes not a destination, but a gateway. There is also a philosophical lesson in Jupiter's resistance to landing. Human exploration has long been driven by the idea of arrival, of standing somewhere new, of leaving footprints behind. Jupiter denies us that satisfaction. It reminds us that not all frontiers are meant to be touched. Some are meant to be understood through distance, patience, and indirect observation. The question, why can't we land on Jupiter, ultimately reveals the diversity of worlds in our universe. It challenges the assumption that planets are variations on Earth. It shows that some worlds exist on entirely different terms, governed by physics that push our concepts of exploration to their limits. Jupiter is vast, powerful, and indifferent. It does not offer a surface to welcome visitors. It offers motion, pressure, heat, and force, an environment that consumes rather than receives. To descend into Jupiter is not to arrive, but to vanish. And yet, in its inaccessibility, Jupiter teaches us something essential. Exploration is not always about landing. Sometimes it is about listening to radio waves carried by magnetic fields, watching storms unfold over decades, or measuring gravity as it bends space around a giant world. Jupiter cannot be landed on because it is not meant to be stood upon. It is meant to be studied, respected, and understood as it is, a colossal engine of gas and gravity, shaping the solar system from its place in the darkness, forever beyond the reach of our feet.